I have the honor to introduce the 2016 Big Picture Learning Advisor Award of Excellence. And as many of the leaders know, there was a call for nominations for this award, and I'm thrilled that they chose an advisor that I've worked with for 8 years now. Her name is Michelle Portilla. Let me tell you about her. So they gave me 45 minutes, right, to do that? All right, so get comfortable. Just kidding, 2 minutes. So Michelle, started 8 years ago. She graduated her first advisory, and that advisory, the Geckos, was, as many of you can probably think about that advisory in your building that has the most spirit, energy, positivity, and just steps out as leaders to make every pick-me-up more exciting and to stand up and talk about the values of the school. That was Michelle's advisory. After she graduated that advisory, she took on a new challenge to partner with Southern New Hampshire University to lead a program called College for America at the Met. This is an associate's degree granting program that's based on proficiency-based college credits. So she helps students design or help students complete projects that help them earn college credits while also doing their internships and projects at the Met. In her first couple years of doing it, she's already had 6 students complete their associate's degree, which was handed to them as they walked the stage to get their high school diploma. They actually got their associate's degree before they got their high school diploma. That's one of the many successes that Michelle has had. Going into another year of being an advisor and doing CFA, she's got about 14 other students that are all working towards that associate's degree. 4 words that describe Michelle and her advisory: work hard and play hard. So she does that by being a leader in the Liberty Building. She makes it her mission to make the toughest kids smile and say hello to her every morning. You know the kids who are, mean mugging, they come to school, they don't understand the culture, they're just looking tough, they want to be the toughest kid in the school. Michelle finds each one of those kids and every day makes them smile and say hello to her until it becomes the natural state of being for them. She also makes school fun in our building. She runs Fear Factor, competitive pick-me-ups, and she is a prankster, and many prank her too. When I observe her teaching, she is 100% locked in to her students, making whatever she's teaching, whether it be social media and presidential elections to the Holocaust, something incredibly urgent, exciting, and important. The students are also 100% locked into the content. When I observe her do one-on-ones, she's 100% locked into that student, and she pushes them. She knows them. When I see her at LTI visits, she's organized, she's charismatic, she builds relationships, and all the mentors rave about her. And then Met-wide, among the 6 Met schools in Rhode Island, she has become a Google Classroom educator. She's always innovating, she's designing new practice and sharing it with others. I wanted to just close by sharing a couple things written by students of hers. Like many of the big picture schools, we end the year with valedictorian speech. Every senior who's graduating gets to make a speech as their final exhibition to the community. And these are just some excerpts from a couple of those speeches this year from some of her graduating seniors. Michelle Portilla, you have made an amazing impact on my life. You've been able to understand some of the most closed-off parts of my personality. You have created an environment that has made me feel comfortable enough to show you who I am. I remember meeting you for the first time when I was in summer infusion. I thought you were the coolest person ever. I remember talking with my friends, and the one thing I said was, I wish she was a freshman advisor. I'd love to have her as my advisor. About 2 years later, College for America became an option. You were definitely one of the reasons why I joined CFA. I love how you know how to balance out work and play. You've also given me the freedom and responsibility I wanted to get out of the Met. You've never been afraid to tell me that some of the goals I set for myself were too easy. Michelle, if it weren't for you, I don't think I would have ever pushed myself so hard. You've become a mother to me, someone who's strict when needed, but loves her children regardless. Another one of her students wrote, Michelle, you are the definition of a crazy mom, and I already live with one. Because of you, this advisory felt like home away from home, and you truly pushed me to my best. Thank you for always hearing me out whenever I had issues with home, relationships, and work. I want you to live on knowing that you can catch more flies with honey, but you can catch more honeys being fly. Another student wrote, Michelle, it was such a hard decision for me to leave my advisory. I remember the day you came to talk to me about CFA. I was so scared, and it meant so much to me that even though you barely knew me, you had so much faith in me right off the bat. You've been such a crucial part of this journey. You've pushed me in ways that nobody else ever had. And no matter what, you always made me feel like I could do anything if I put my mind to it. You truly get to know all of your students, our limitations, our strengths, and our really stressful tendencies to finish things the night before they're due. You're always so patient and willing to listen when I'm having problems, and you always have such solid and rational advice for me. You're so good at bringing me back to the reality when I'm feeling lost. And finally, one of her students wrote, Michelle, you're a remarkable woman. I always looked up to you as a role model, even though I'm taller than you. I know after high school we will remain close friends, and I know if I ever needed to talk to you, you'll be there. Thank you for giving me my reality check when I needed it most. I remember when I wanted to give up on all the things I was doing, you would say, you got this. I probably seemed like the most confident kid on the block, but I wasn't, and those words just gave me motivation, and for that I'm grateful. And I'm better than you at Uno because you're a cheater, hiding draw fours in your back pocket and making rules as we play. To the rest of my advisory, y'all know I'm the king of Uno. Now that last little bit, as you hear people say often, students sort of become an image or model themselves after who their advisor is. And Michelle is that competitive, always going to be the best, always going to win. And I'm proud that she has won this amazing award. So I'm going to call her up now to share some of her wisdom with you. Big round of applause, please, for Michelle Portilla.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm gonna steal a note from where you at? I'm gonna steal a note from earlier and send me some magic finger love. I don't know what that was called, but thank you. I'm definitely nervous. So I'm extremely honored to be standing here today. I know firsthand that there are countless advisors who are amazing at what they do and who love the work each and every day. I see them every day at my school, the Met Liberty, and in and around all the other big picture schools. Being in the classroom is a new experience every day, and being part of our model means that the opportunities for new adventure. I plan to discuss a few of the things that have helped me to navigate those adventures in hopes that they help you as much as they continue to help me. My first piece of advice, and probably the most important, is to have fun. I mean, let's be honest, like none of us are here to get filthy rich. So remember to tap into the things about this job that you love. For some of us, it's the social-emotional connections, or the constant inquiry and project creation, or the ever-rewarding aha moments. Whatever those things are, remember to tap into them daily, and remember to take the time to laugh with your kids and your staff. Next, remember what brought you here. We are educators. We have taken on one of the most important jobs in the world. And that means that we have a responsibility to help these young people learn about the world they live in and learn how to navigate it. You can't do that by avoiding the touchy subjects or running away from the things that are hard for us to talk about. The only way to get there, the only way to do our true job as educators is to work through processing the tough stuff. That means that we need to talk to our students why they turn on the news and see unarmed people of color being shot. Why there's a presidential candidate whose platform is to build a wall. Why they see the lives of other humans reduced to a hashtag. And why they hear about a mass shooting in Orlando, 6 miles from here at the Pulse nightclub. We also need to talk to them about how Kanye West and Kim Kardashian just exposed Swift as a liar on Snapchat. Now, you might be asking yourself, how are these things connected? Here's how. Our job is to help them process the things that they encounter in their real lives. And really, our opinion is just that, an opinion. Our job is to help them find their own opinion, find evidence that supports it, and learn how to make an informed and educated choice. The world that these people are growing up in was not created in a vacuum, and it certainly won't stay in one, so it's our responsibility to talk about it. Next, I'll tell you to tap into your resources. One of the cool things about working in Big Picture is that we have a network of folks who can understand our work. Here we are in Orlando making some connections, but remember to cultivate them even further. I am blessed to have the opportunity to work with some of the best people around, and every day I get to collaborate with and learn from my colleagues in some new and useful way. Tapping into people's pedagogical toolbox is awesome, but you also need to make sure to take care of yourself. There will be tough things about this work. Some days you'll go home and wonder if that's something you can do, want to do, or have the energy to sustain. And on those days, you need your support system. Find people who can process your feelings about, who you can process your feelings about your day with, or check out a work mode altogether with. You can do whatever it is that helps you unwind. This past week, I've been doing just that on a long road trip with my fiance and best friend over there somewhere. And Mike. One of the things that I found hardest to learn was to avoid that fixed mindset. I mean, it's one of those things that we say to kids often, but I guess it's the type A control freak in me that made sure that I struggled every time I messed up somehow. It has taken me a long time to slowly start to crack the threshold of the ever-elusive growth mindset, but I try to remind myself often that growth is always a good thing, even if it does mean that you just lost. Thankfully, I have that support system to help me get there when I can't see it on my own. One tactic that I use to help with that is to find the little win in every single day. This might seem silly to you, but I try every day to just find any kind of win possible. Maybe my win for the day is that this particular student only whined 35 times instead of her usual 50. Or that this other kid decided he would not wink at every person that he saw come across him. But there are days when that little win is a sign of something bigger. That first time a kid shares something personal, or when you see them get actually excited for a project. Or how could I forget the biggest win of them all, the day they get an internship and you finally get a break from the LTI search dramatics. What I learned, though, is that just knowing you can grow is not really enough. I mean, as advisors, we have to model for the kids the things that we ask of them. I have to not just convince myself that this failure of mine was not a fixed mindset failure, but a growth mindset opportunity. But then I have to also be brave enough to be vulnerable with my kids about that, to show them that even at my age, which they do not fail to remind me is so old, we are always still growing and learning. I need to model that vulnerability with them so they can do it with me and each other. And last but certainly not least, I learned that everything I need to know to be the best advisor I can be is right in front of me and inside of those students. We all need to accept this whole "I'm older so I know better" spiel is not always true, and remain open to learning from the students and alongside them. When you connect with the human being inside the student, they show you the things that you can't even imagine. They show you true resilience, bravery, compassion, and 1,000 other things. They are already experts of their own world in ways that we can never be, and it's our responsibility to help them see their own expertise. There will be times when we do know better, but we just have to remain open to the possibility that there will also be times when they know better. Thank you all for this award. I'm very honored and humbled to be receiving it, and I'll continue to learn from my students and staff to better my practice. And I want to leave you with some words from Nelson Mandela. He says, "Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world." So let's go out there and do just that.
So in recognition of your demonstrated ability, commitment to young people, and belief that all students can achieve, please accept this symbol of our appreciation and respect for you and your commitment to your students and your craft. With deep gratitude, Big Picture Learning.